All right, Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. We're going to start off this lesson by giving all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Shah, Shem, All right, double honors to the apostles, the elders of great millstone who rule well and have taught us this word in truth and sincerity, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect that are across the four corners of the earth, pushing this word alongside with the hopeful one-third that may listen. So as the title says here, it says Esau is the poison of the earth. So we're going to go through some scriptures talking about America and how, America is going to be destroyed, right? Because that's the chief house, so to speak, of or enterprise of Esau, Edom. And then we're also going to go into Esau as well, and what the Lord is going to do with him according to the scriptures. So I got a clip to play based upon that. But before we go into that, I want to put up the definition of the word poison real quick. Let me share my cam. So when we go into definition of poison, right, the etymology here, it says poison, a deadly potion or substance. It says also figuratively speaking, it says spiritually corrupting ideas. Spiritually corrupting ideas. Evil intentions. And America is full of, or Babylon, I should say, is full of spiritually corrupted ideas. And you don't really need much breaking down to see that, right? You got the term MAPs, MAPs, minor attracted persons, right? They have a voice now in America. You got bestiality people. They have a voice in America. You got moles and owls, your transformers, and that's code talk for that alphabet gang. So this is all spiritually corrupted ideas, and furthermore, they have evil intentions. The main intention they have is to electronically tag every single human being on the planet, right?
Jeremiah 49 and 10.
Jeremiah, you have something to say?
I just wanted to make a point real quick, because all those ideologies, they're self-collapsing ideologies, right? So that's just showing you that the system cannot stand with those ideologies, right?
That's right.
But go ahead, Salak.
Jeremiah 4 and 10?
49.
49 and 10, okay. Let me get that real quick. Jeremiah 49.
Yeah.
And 10. Give me a second, brothers, here. Hey, shalom, brother.
Shalom.
Yeah, I'll read it for you. Jeremiah 49 and 10, and it reads, "But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places."
So I brought a scripture based on what you're going into, what you're elaborating on, and the Most High is saying his mace Esau bare, right? So that's basically exposing him. And you mentioned something about MAP, minor attracted person. So this has always been in the mind of the so-called white man, which is also a blessing that we don't remember the atrocities that we dealt with when we're dealing with hardcore slavery. Because unbeknownst to a lot of people, we are still in slavery. We're actually prisoners of war.
That's right.
That's why a lot of the things that the Bible refers to, we can't really adhere to them. Like, for instance, taking care of your woman properly the way you're supposed to. Because in the kingdom, the things that our women go through right now, they'll be well taken care of. They said that feet won't touch the ground. But as a prisoner of war, you have to worry about yourself, right? Because we're all captives, man. And the only thing we have right now is the truth.
Jesus,
so the Most High is basically showing you his mindset, his spirit, So what you went into earlier is just a brief description of this smuttiness of this man's mind, right? And the Most High is saying he's gonna make him bare because his part of his mo is deceptiveness, right? Hide in places, right? Hide behind I'm a good guy. Hide behind philanthropy. You know, where he's handing out things and going to parts of the world, and you see his Red Cross, and as a kid, he thought it was a good thing. They got a slogan, "Blood, it's in you to give." Catchy, but is that true? No. The Moses says you should abstain from blood.
That's
right?
right.
So everything this man do is about death. Like it's a poison. So let me finish this off and I'll give it back over to you. So, but I've made Esau bare. I've uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, right? So everything. So from the rooter to the tutor, as America would say, the whole thing is spoiled, man. And not because you can't see under the ground and what's going in a germination of a seed, you can't see it underground, but things are happening.
Yeah.
Right? So this white man, woman, and child, they're all spoiled, man. And his brothers and his neighbors, and he is not. So everybody around the so-called white man is spoiled, right? Is being taken advantage of. But about that, and he is not, right? That's why Yahushua comes in, right? That's where our Lord and Savior comes in and going to put this man in this place. All right. So I'll pass over to you. I can go more into about that. Let's pass it back over.
And we could shut the video down right now because what the brother just said and what was read, okay, it's clear, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go into this in spirit and in truth more. You know what I'm saying? But that alone, that is poison. Nobody can trick me or trick any of these men that the Lord set up. But yes, we could shut it down right now, okay? Because we already called his name, who it is, and we know who he is. But we're going to go into it a little bit more. All right? That's all I want to say. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, brother.
This precept here, because in the last precept, right, it says that Brother Kazak brought out, right? But I've made Esau bare, and I've uncovered his secret places. And you mentioned exposed, right? And so this is Job 15:6, and it says, "Thine own mouth condemneth thee, and not I. Yea, thine own lips testify against thee." And basically, you have all these truthers, which majority of these truthers are Edomites, and they coming up against Esau and telling us all the wickedness that Esau is doing. Really, that's all they're doing, giving material for the hopeful elect to teach upon. Right. One more precept here.
And that way you said, brother.
Yeah.
The thing called spokesperson. You know, like for instance, you'd have Messy Jesse being a black spokesperson. I know who he's not speaking for us, but for some reason they have him as a black spokesperson. So those truthers is basically so-called white, because they're not white, they're red, spokesperson. And they're speaking too much to the point where they're exposing themselves as the wicked, not knowing that we're up in them, that the Most High deals with natures of people. So why they're exposing one, saying, look what this guy is doing. We know that in the spirit that's in them is not upright. So if they were in the same position as the so-called elites are in, if it's in the same goddamn thing. Right?
This is Lamentations 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee.
And we know that it's not speaking of just ancient people, right? Because the daughter comes after the mother, right? Comes after you. So saying the daughter of Edom is like saying, oh, virgin daughter of Babylon. Right? So that's a mystery, right?
Right.
So you have to go in this book and want to expose and bring forth clarity.
Right.
All right. Very important. Okay.
And it says, thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked. So what you got is a uh, a heavy amount of confusion, right, in the house of Esau, because these truthers are Edomites, telling on them own selves, not knowing that they're Edomites, right? And it says, thou and shall make thyself naked. So again, going to what Brother Kazak said, you are going to expose yourself, because the Most High is putting the spirit on these Edomites to expose themselves,
Mhm.
right?
And is it going? It's like I get, brother.
No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
That naked there goes back into the garden where Adam and Eve found themselves naked. So before getting into this truth and understanding it correctly, we think in pictures. So he thought it was two buck naked Edomite walking around buck naked, fighting over an apple, right? And a snake, talking to him. When you go into this naked word, right, is just showing your shame. Like if you were to be caught with the pants down, so to speak,
Yeah.
right, by some stranger, you're talking some kind of way. So it's an allegory, right? Shame, right? Hey man, close the door, So we're opening the door in Esau, right? Not in a perverted kind of way, but in a way to show this man's perverseness.
That's right.
Right? It's covetousness.
Con.
Right? That he's a thief.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Con, man. So I'm gonna go into this clip.
I have a quick preset.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, brother. Bring it out, and I'm gonna go.
Yeah, because we're going into the weakness of Esau, right?
Yeah.
That's the topic. This is Psalms 58. You brought already Psalms 58:1?
No, bring it out.
All right. So this is the book of Psalms 58:1, and it reads, "Do you indeed speak righteousness, all congregation? Do you judge uprightly, O son of man?"
That's a question. So David's being facetious because he knows that they don't judge uprightly, right? Go ahead.
They don't speak righteousness. We know that, and they don't judge righteously either. It says in verse 2, "Ye in heart you work wickedness, you weigh the violence of your hands in the earth." And we know that this place is out of order, right? It's because how he runs this world pretty much, right? The air that we breathe, the food that we eat, it's all poison.
That's right.
Right? It says in verse 3, "The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they're born, speaking lies."
Yeah.
And we as men, we were fed with those lies growing up as a little kid, telling you that Jesus Christ is a white man with long hair, blue eyes,
Jesus Christ.
And so on and so on.
Yeah.
Right? It's more to it.
Con, real quick, brother, I'm gonna get the word is strange, right, in the blue letter. It just says to be strange.
Yeah.
Which is another way. The word strange is synonymous to perverseness, right? Something that's perverted is also strange. It can be strange, right? It says to be a stranger, right? Which he is. He's the only. Esau is the only person that's not a human. Okay, when you go into the word human, hue means color, man means man. So he's the only person on the planet that's a stranger, technically.
He's a stranger to the truth.
That's right.
Too.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. Yep. It says loathsome of breath, right? Strange woman, prostitute, harlot, which is everything he promotes. He promotes prostitution. He promotes harlots. He brings up harlots. This kingdom, right? The Lord said, "Behold, I'll make a woman compass a man." That woman did not do that by herself.
Okay.
Right?
The kingdom is likened unto a whore too, as the scripture says, right?
That's right.
So,
that's right. It says to be a stranger, be one alienated. Right? So go ahead, brother. You got more on that?
Verse 4, their poison is like the poison of a serpent,
Uh-oh.
They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear.
Yeah, poison, poison of a serpent. Listen, you get bit by a serpent, and you don't get no antidote, you're gonna die. So, the poison of these Edomites, beginning with the chief house, which is the Amalekites, these small hats. You know that goes into the philosophies, man. That's why the scriptures talk about Israel being Israel being the congregation of dead, right? The majority of the world is in the congregation of dead, right? Even going into like the brother said, the air is poison, right? The air has chemicals, the food has chemicals. We're actually dying. As soon as you're born, you're dying, you know? And that's Esau, man. He's corrupted everything in this planet, man.
And the scripture for what you just said there is born in sin and shaped in iniquity. Read on. Go ahead, brother.
You done? I sure you done with that?
Yeah, that was it on that.
So it's saying the poison is of a serpent. So that serpent is a buzzword, right? And it's always analogous to that nation of Edom. And brother, you can scroll back down up to 3 for a second, or 2 or 3.
The 3 right there,
or 2. Go down up more. It says, yeah, in heart you work wickedness. That heart there, we know that's the mind.
Yeah.
So when he's telling you and your children that the thing is going around and there's a soccer game in a certain area, and they're gonna pitch a tent so your kid can be seduced, right, with that liquid. You know what I mean? Right? That's working wickedness in his mind. He's like how can I get him? How can I make their immune system be compromised? I know. I'll cut him a Count Chocula and a muffin and some milk, and it says part of his complete breakfast. Right? And you're thinking, oh, this is a complete meal, because Esau said on TV and use like little animals caricature, you know, chasing a quick rabbit, right? Chocolate bunny, and the kids are, you know. So this man,
that's poison.
Gun, right?
Gun.
He finds every way, right, through trickery to get you to die, to poison you, man.
Some way or another. Yeah.
Gun. That's it, brother.
Gun.
I was going to say,
go ahead.
I was going to say, just to add on to that point, is that when you go down to 58 and 4, their poison is like the poison of a serpent. That's why you have like the 2/3. No matter what you preach and teach to them, you know, those scoffers, they won't listen to sound doctrine. Right? These are the snakes who eat dust, confusion, and stop up your ears. They're stubborn in their way.
Right.
I believe the precept is
Well, what you're saying is on point. Slack it, brother. What you're saying is on point, because verse 5 is basically what you were just saying, right? Because it says, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. So if Esau is not going to hearken to that, and the 2/3 of Israel, they're definitely
I got the precept here too, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Matthew 11 and 16. But and it reads, but whereunto shall I like this generation? It is like unto children sitting in the markets and calling unto their fellows, and saying, we have piped unto you, and ye have not danced. We have mourned unto you, and ye have not lamented. For John came eating nor drinking, and they say he hath a devil. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, behold, a man gluttonous, a winebibber, a friend of publicans and sinners. But wisdom is justified of her children. Right? And so no matter the slander and what their perception of us is, the teaching of this truth, giving to who Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai wills, it justifies our disposition. Furthermore, we are vindicated by Yahweh's will and his promise.
Yeah, that's right.
Those preaching and teaching the truth, we are those children. And that's it on that.
So like, if I could add to it, it says, we know the death adder is a snake.
Yeah.
And it says it is one of the most venomous land snakes in Australia and globally what remains widespread. And that's Esau, because he's on the four corners of the planet doing his wickedness.
Job 9:24.
And it's funny you brought up Australia, because when you think of an Australian, what do you think of? An Edomite.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? But it's those Japhetic people, man.
Yeah.
That really are the first inhabitants of that land. But Esau taken it over and spread his poison there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, in Australia is actually filled with the dregs of the jails from Britain. All the criminals they had there in the jails, they shipped them off to Australia. To inhabit that land.
That's right. So let me play this clip here. You're gonna hear it right from the horse's mouth. All right, or right from the serpent's mouth, I should say.
Yeah.
You know. And then, hey, brothers, if let me know and I'll pause it.
Yeah. The Joe Rogan experience.
What we have to realize is that we're Americans. We're deeply selfish monsters that have been bred to destroy all life on Earth. We have to not lose sight of that message. We're here to fuck things up for everyone else, not each other. And that's
okay. Hold on, I gotta pause that. Let me get a preset real quick. Because he's saying a lot. He's saying a mouthful, and he hasn't even it just started. So let me get this Revelation 18, because he's right. He said, we got to remember we're Americans, Babylon, Edomites, and we're here to fuck things up for everybody else, right? So I'm gonna get Revelation 18:3, and it says, because when we read Psalm 58, right?
Yep.
The poison. That poison also goes into the philosophies, which poison the minds of the people all over the earth, right? And so it says here, Revelation 18:3, for all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornications, right? And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her.
Mm-hmm.
And the merchants of the earth are wax rich through her abundance of her delicacies, right? And when you go into the Bretton Woods system, which is like about 1940s, basically a system that was established among all nations on the planet, and they agreed to have the American dollar as the world currency, reserve currency, because at the time they had gold to back up their currency. And then you fast forward to the 70s, Nixon put a stop on that, right? And now there is no gold backing up these currencies, but all these other nations are still tied to America. So what these other nations have done, they've also gotten into the habit of printing money that has no backing behind it. Mm-hmm. So that's fornication. That's a false balance, right? And they have waxing rich over that. But now you see that all that is coming down, and they're turning on Babylon, on America, because what does China have? China right now has the most gold in the world right now. So they're basically trying to do the same thing that America did. And these nations are trying to, they're boasting themselves up to be the next ruling class of the world, because they see the downfall of America. Mm-hmm. Right? And it says, verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sin, and that ye receive not of her plagues. So, there's going to be some heavy plagues that are going to come to America, which is spiritually called Babylon and Egypt, right? And the main plagues is these missiles and the chariots. The chariots are also going to be a plague upon America. Verse 5, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. So that's why you see all these different events happening, and you see the division within America, right? You got the left and the right. And the scriptures tell us that if Satan be divided among himself, how can his kingdom stand? So that's what we see, is that the kingdom is crumbling because it's divided among themselves, right?
It's what we had in the 80s and the 90s. We had a commitment to apathy while our leaders ran around pillaging the earth. And we made great movies and great art, and it was fine. Yes, people got killed, but people always get killed. But now we're at war with each other, where we should just be enjoying the spoils of the end of the empire. Truly. We should be enjoying it. People, so many people got killed, murdered, tortured, maimed for us to have all the nice things we have. Do you know how insane it is to not enjoy it? You know how crazy it is to not enjoy a McMansion, a flat screen TV, a McFlurry?
Pause it for a second, brother.
God.
I'm gonna go into Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2.
Yep. Con. We'll pull that up.
Because he's hitting all the points,
Yeah.
right? And he's speaking as if he read what I'm about to read, and not knowing he's.
Yeah, I know. He's saying a mouthful, man. He's saying a mouthful.
So, are you there?
No, hold on. Give me 2 seconds here. Wisdom of Solomon 2, right?
2, yes.
Yeah.
Chapter 1, verse 2.
Con.
Sorry, chapter 2, verse 1.
Yeah. Con. I'm here. You want me to read it for you?
Sure, go ahead.
So Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, verse 1. And it says, for the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves.
Okay, so that's a Joe Rogan's experience. Because Joe Rogan ain't no man of the Lord.
Poison.
You know, he might be a Jake, you know, because you know a few brothers, I think one of the elders, the apostles, you know.
Yeah, he might be an Israelite.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah.
But we know he ain't godly as bald ass head.
Con.
Right. So so we agree, brother?
Con. But not all right.
So everything they're saying is contrary to doctrine, right? And like how we should be as citizens of the earth. All right.
Con.
How we should be communing with each other.
That's right.
See, brother?
Our life is short and tedious.
So that's what he's going into, right?
Yeah.
He's saying, sure, yeah, flat screen TV. We should enjoy these things, you know. So all right, keep reading.
And in the death of a man, there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave.
So remember, it says they're reasoning, but not aright. Right? You know, but we know Yahushua did die and did return from the grave. And I think a few other men, you know, was taken up from the earth.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I think Yahushua raised a few dead people. I think a little girl. I think Lazarus was his friend. I think, you know.
Con.
Right. So which means they don't get into the scriptures and they don't believe because they were ungodly.
Yeah.
Right?
Which means they're carnal minded.
Con.
Verse 2. For we are born at all adventure.
To have fun.
Con.
Right. They're saying we're made to have fun, man. So why not have fun? Adventurous. That's the be adventurous.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But we know this is not a rest.
Father is set in great dignity up here.
God.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
We shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath in our nostril is as smoke, and a little spark in the morning of our heart.
In the moving.
Slake, yeah, in the moving of our heart.
All right, so it says the breath in our nostrils. So we know that when Yahweh Bashim Yahushai breathed in Adam's nostrils, he was given life, right? Meaning the understanding. So remember, these men is talking that's not right, and they have no understanding of what's going on. So he's saying, basically, what their purpose is. We don't have their purpose, man, because we're gonna be here today, gone tomorrow. They even got Drake singing a song called YOLO.
Yeah.
You only live once.
Yeah.
Right? But the truth is, you die once, but you're supposed to live every day.
Con.
You know what I mean?
Con.
Read.
That's right. Verse 3, it says, which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air.
Nigga, your spirit goes back to the Heavenly Father, man.
Right?
It tells you in Ecclesiastes that your body goes up to the Father of spirits, which is Yahweh, man.
That's right.
All right.
Our name shall be forgotten in time,
True. Hey, Ashar, you want to grab Job 28, please?
Job 28.
Right, because he's saying that their name should be gone in time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was gonna preach that real quick. Like this book comes to life, man. Like whenever you in this book, sometimes, and, like that's like we praise Halbashim all the time, because when you get it, when it opens it up to you, you're like, man, our part is real, man.
Yeah, con.
Yep. So like the 28 and what? And what?
Job 20, verse 8.
Oh, 20 verse 8. Okay. The book of Job 20 and 8, and it reads, he shall fly away as a dream, and he shall not be found.
That's right. So it's speaking again of the so-called white men, the ungodly, right? That's what we're going into, the ungodly, and they're poison. All right. So Moses said they should what, Asher?
He should fly away as a dream, and he should not be found.
That's right. All right. I'm gonna go back into verse 4 again.
Con. It says, verse 4, and our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance.
Boom. Okay. So you see, through that precepts, I get understanding. So the Most High has put it in their mind to know these things, right? Some of them, right? Because it says the inward parts that should go on forever, right? So some have this knowledge, but we get the whole truth. We've been given the cheat code, so to speak. All right, keep reading.
Our lives shall pass away as a trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun, and overcome with the heat thereof.
Keep reading.
For our time is a very shadow that passes away, and after our end there is no returning. For it, see, that's how you know he's a carnal man.
Go ahead.
For it is fast sealed, so that no man cometh again. Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and
you know what the guy's saying?
That's right.
You know what the guy's saying right now?
Let me replay it real quick. I'll replay it.
Yeah, rewind it.
Yeah, right here.
Spoils of the end of the empire. It's fine. Yes, people got killed, but people always get killed. But now we're at war with each other. We should just be enjoying the spoils of the end of the empire. Truly.
Right? That's what he says. So, for our time is very
here, brother.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about what he's saying is that, but now we're at war together. See, what he's talking about is his nation. He's not talking about anybody else within America. He's not talking about what he did to us and how he subjected us to captivity and forced labor and everything else that came with that. You got to be very careful with these devils too, because they always speak in that text and they give you the illusion of the inclusion, like we're involved. We were never involved. What he's talking about is capitalism. In order for capitalism to work, the rich stay rich, they put middle class on death row, and the poor don't get a goddamn thing. And that's what he's really saying. But he's doing that thing that Esau does, that double speak. That's it on that. It was just something that was coming to my mind every time I'm hearing this cracker open his mouth.
The inward thoughts. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yes, come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth.
So that's what the one just said.
Yeah.
Right? Slavery. That's what he wants. He wants to put it back in slavery. So he said, let's use the creatures as in the beginning, how it was, bring us over here and getting free labor, right? Because you can always go back to the first birth, that the ungodly reason with themselves, but not right. So it sounds good, and he's saying the Americans, as if the Polish, the Hungarians, and the so-called Russians, so-called Bulgarians. Listen, man, it's a nation of wicked people, man. All right, it's not just the Americans, because if we go anywhere outside of this, anywhere in the world, they call us what? Niggers.
Nigger. Hey, the brother, shalom to the comment board. The brother said, GMS as is written, he said, Khan, that's why Esau also always got to be on time for everything, because he knows in his spirit he has an expiration date.
Right.
Now, I got two precepts real quick based upon the youth part, right? Because, every time I hear that scripture, I think about children with toys. They don't give no shits. They'll pull the arm off, the leg off, they'll toss it, They don't take no care, but it's because they're
children scattered all over the ground too.
Exactly.
They don't care to clean it up or nothing.
That's right. So Lamentations 4:21, it says, "Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwelleth in the land of Uz. The cup also shall shall also pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and shall make thyself naked." Now, Ecclesiastes 11:9, it says, "Rejoice, O young man, in thy youth, and let thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth, and walk in the ways of thine heart, and in the sight of thine eyes. But know thou that for all these things Yahweh will bring thee into judgment." So that's just straight to the point, man. They're gonna do what they do. They're gonna be as wicked as they can, but the Most High is gonna judge these devils, man.
That's right.
So you want me to go back to Wisdom of Solomon?
Yeah. I gotta read it about 11.
Con. So verse 6 is, "Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth."
So that speedily is going into that time. Hurry up, man! Hurry up! Right? Because they know they're a short time to live.
That's right.
Short time to rule.
That's right.
All right. Verse 7.
"Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered." So everything Esau is doing is in a rush, because he knows he has but a little time, a short time. "Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness."
And that word voluptuousness is going into fatness.
Right.
And the fatness of the earth was promised to Esau, Edom. Right. So the Most High is written in their mind. Right. This proud spirit has been given them, and they think they deserve everything that's good. Right? It belongs to them. Go back to your country. Right? After you rape, rob, and pillaged it, now they want to send you back. Right?
That's so true. You hear that all the time.
It's all poison. All of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's true.
Yeah, because I was just looking at, you didn't finish reading it, but it's okay. I kept staring at it because everything came up here as figuratively, right? That's what he's going into. That's most of what he's using against us, because all his open information is exposed, and so he's moving at a figuratively deceptive way. But anyway, that's the point I just wanted to say. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 9.
Wow.
"Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place."
So the token is basically a sign. Show a sign that we've been here. Their sign is destruction. So go in any country around the world that the so-called white man's been in, and hear the people cry about, man, when my grandmother in those days were different, man. It was nice. I remember these times. You know what I mean? But as soon as they sign anything with the IMF, right? Right before that, Esau was in there pillaging, man.
Yeah.
Right. So that's their sign. Anywhere in the world you go, there's like crying, man.
Yeah.
Right? The women, like in Iraq, they brought democracy to Iraq, and when Saddam Hussein was so-called had the people under pressure, there was no sluts there, and if you're a slut, it'd be in the hush hush. Now these brought, but the strip joints there, people are suffering, homeless. Right, the dollar is no good. Same in Libya. In Libya, every citizen was exposed or is given free education, and there's no homelessness, right? And just because Gaddafi, right, wanted to unite
Africa,
the Eastern Hemisphere, basically,
Africa, and made it go on a gold standard.
Yeah,
you know, the man went here and killed the man.
That's right.
And now go there now. It's a mess.
Coming.
Right, so that those are his tokens, man. Look at our people; they're destroyed. Why? Because Edom was in rulership and still in rulership. Okay, you got men want to be girls. You know what I mean? The tattoos all over our people. You know, or women just everything they want to twerk. Everything black women see. Oh, let's twerk it out. You know, let's twerk it out.
Hey, it's like if I can say that, I was watching a video last night, and the artist, her name is Eve, and I was like, "That's Eve, that's Eve right there." You know who I'm talking about? The rapper, the girl Eve back in the 90s, probably.
Yeah.
Her name is Eve, and Eve is doing wickedness right now.
Yeah, because she has Esau. You know, Esau is empowering her.
Right.
And when you go into these leagues of token or leave token signs, also it makes me think of these U.S. embassies in all these different countries.
Yeah,
right. They got their bases up in these countries, so they're leaving signs. Right, that's another way of them leaving signs of their
architecture too, right? The different buildings and monuments and stuff.
That's right. Yeah, that's true.
I was going to say that the precept that the go-to precept there is when the righteous are in authority, people rejoice, but when the wicked are in authority or wicked rule, the people mourn, and that's what you see happening in these other nations.
That's right. It goes on to say, "For this our portion, for this is our portion, and our lot is this." Let us. So these guys don't even know. In the spirit, they're they know that they got that blessing from Isaac. It says, "Let us oppress the poor righteous man."
That's right. So a way of oppression is not telling you who you are, because you're confused.
Yeah.
So that was always one of the tools in his arsenal. Let's cause mass confusion.
That's right.
Right. And when you have a person confused, you have power over them because they don't know. Right. Telling you you're black. Right. And you're rolling with this. You know, because I'm black, white, black. You know. When he damn well knows ain't nothing to do with no skin color, because before 1800, that term black wasn't even it wasn't about your skin color. It was about your nation. And at that time, the first slave ship was out of Granada, Spain, right? But he's holding back that knowledge because he's like, what we're doing in Spain? Why are you deporting people from Spain, right? And that we're in Europe. That's oppression, man. Ecclesiastes 7:7 says, "Surely oppression makes the wise man mad." So if you ain't mad, right, about being oppressed, how about you actually say you ain't wise, man? Right? You're a damn fool.
That's right.
The spirit you are to be in is a spirit of retribution and a spirit of a ruling class mentality. Like I always say, this is King's language. That's why nigga won't get it, because we're speaking to niggas. All right, 2/3 are meant to get it. So as much as Jeremiah said, "Pray not for these people, man." So your cousin Jerome, right, is always eating honeycombs in the basement and fighting for player one. There's a reason they ain't getting him, man. Come on, the most ain't deal with him. All right.
Let us oppress the poor. Oh, you got a precept?
No,
you finish up on that or not yet? Or
no,
if you finish that, and then
11.
Okay, Khan. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Let our strength be the law of in or of justice.
That's right. So you're right.
Yeah, the spirit wanted to say injustice.
Yeah, your subconscious took over because it ain't just.
Yeah,
Remember, it's a wicked speaking. The first verse says the ungodly speaking, but not a right. So we know it's opposite. And this is what how he gets you with legislations, right? Before he kicks the door open, there's this thing in your face. The section so and 2499, you're under arrest based on this law that we made up. But it's an unjust law, right?
It's the criminal justice system. It's justice for criminals. That's what that means.
Perfect, right? And you got to remember, it's not called the court of truth. It's called the court of law, right? Oh. And we know we make things up as you go along. Let's say you have section so and so, an amendment section. You say one thing up here, but it's like 15 different things pertaining to the first thing. They think, hey man, what's up? Oh, the section is subsection. There's no subsection in our laws, man. The Moses says this is wrong, this is wrong, but there's no subsection.
That's it.
Well, when you go into the word court, what's a court? You got a basketball court. You got racketeering, so you just pass the ball from one end to the other, back and forth. There's no justice in that. You know?
Yeah. It's called passing the buck.
Right. Yeah. So it goes on to say, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth.
So he's saying the so-called black man, Hispanic, Native American, they're not they're disposable. I don't care about those people. They're throwaway people. Yeah. That's what he calls us, throwaway people. Okay, even if you think you're up there and you're making money, because when it's a Jay-Z is worth $1 billion, is it $1 billion in gold or silver? No, it's what Esau tells you. Oh, you're worth $1 billion. You think Jay-Z saw the billions? Saw like Scrooge McDuck? You know see the numbers in the computer screen, man. Say, oh, you have billions. But piss Esau off, you find if you said remember it says let our strength be the law. Yeah. So if you mess about and piss him off, he did write some law to take your money away, man. Right? Mm-hmm. Because there's always something that you miss. Because remember, he makes it as he go along.
Hey, brother, like what you're saying is on point, because when you go into the Federal Reserve in 1913, it came out, right? The Federal Reserve came out in 1913. But what also was made, there was an amendment made to the Constitution. And that's where how taxing came into play.
Right? There's that subsection.
Yeah, the subsection. Yeah, right? Con. So that's just really what you're talking about, the law. So the Federal Reserve, we know what they're all about, right? Printing. All they do is what? They print a bunch of IOUs to bankers. Bankers give it to the Treasury, and then they just make that into currency. So that's unjust weight, right? And that's and they made an amendment again to the Constitution, and that's for what? For us to pay the taxes. That's an unjust law. So, like you say, man, they make it up as they go.
God. And then when your woman is home now, because at one point it was you go out and leave your woman home to raise children. Esau's like, you know what? We can get more money, put her to get a feminist movement started saying, she's equal to the men, put her ass out there, trick her, right? We can get double tax.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we'll indoctrinate their children.
Con.
Right? With poison.
Yeah, con.
That's it, brother. That's it.
Okay, Con. I'm gonna play a little bit more of the clip here.
So many people got killed, murdered, tortured, maimed for us to have all the nice things we have. Do you know how insane it is to not enjoy it? You know how crazy it is to not enjoy a McMansion, a flat screen TV, a McFlurry? And people act like they don't even matter. And they're talking about all this bullshit. It's crazy. Anyway, that's the truth. That's the real truth. Nobody wants to hear it, but that is the truth. We have a lot of these things are nice, but some of them are ill-gotten gains. Fine. I'm not really picking tomatoes happy about it.
God.
You tell him himself.
I gotta jump in here real quick, brother. I can't take this guy anymore, but I have to listen. Psalms 5 and 9, as this man is speaking, and I've been, not that we're gonna find anything that's good at all about this character, because the topic is poison, and that's exactly who he is. Anyway, let me read this Psalm here, 5 and 9. It says, "For there is no faithfulness in their mouth," because we know that his testimony is going into how Esau is flourishing, nothing else, and how he wants to continue to control. It says, "For there's no faithfulness in their mouth; the inward parts is very wicked. Their throat is an open sepulchre. They flatter with their tongue." Okay, and that's all that is. And so, right now we're going over the crimes of this individual, and Lord willing, we're going to get to his judgment. Right, but I just wanted to bring that precept out. And by the way, for the record, just in case folks at home are tuning in, we're talking about Esau, Edom, right? The poison. Okay, and Genesis 38 and 6, and y'all could read that whole chapter, and it gives his bloodline of who he is. And it says, Genesis 38, 6 and 8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. Okay. All right. And Lord willing, we will get to it in Obadiah. Continue, brother.
I got a precept real quick here. This is Jeremiah 49. Jeremiah 49 and 31. And it says, arise, get you up onto the wealthy nation, that's America, that dwelleth without care. Right? They're proud. Right? They're very proud. And this is what this guy is, man. He's proud, right? He just finished breaking down everything they did to get the wealth that they have.
He's bragging.
He's bragging.
Right? He's bragging. And notice they're not arguing. You notice that he's not saying, hey man, that's wicked. This, and they're like, that's laughing.
Right. Right. So it says, arise, get you up unto the wealthy nation that dwelleth without care, saith the Lord Yahweh, which have neither gates nor bars, which dwell alone. And so, America, with their pride, they feel like they stand alone above all nations.
They're unstoppable.
Yeah, exactly. They feel like they're unstoppable. But the Lord is working on the minds of these other kings, which is going to eventually start what? World War III, right? And that leads me to Isaiah, because you said they're unstoppable. Isaiah 19. And I'll start out one of the points in 2. It says, Isaiah 47. I'll hold that for later. Isaiah 47 and 1. It says, because they're proud, right? It says, come down and sit in the dust, right? Which represents confusion. And also, literally, America's going to be made a desert after thermonuclear fire by ICBM missiles. It's made a desert. O virgin daughter Babylon, a virgin because she hasn't been pricked by any missiles and no war, right? They really haven't lost a war, right? But they also haven't been hit by any, they haven't been damaged within war. It says, sit on the ground. There is no throne. So the rulership is being done, right? O daughter of the Chaldeans, which is another family of the Edomites, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. So we're coming to a time. This is a prophecy, man. We're coming to a time where America, spiritually called Babylon and Egypt, is not being called tender and delicate, which also means people don't look at this place as a place to flourish or to build. You can't build. People are actually leaving America. A lot of people are losing jobs, right? There's turmoil. There's civil unrest that's brewing in the streets of America. So it's no longer called tender and delicate. And once these missiles hit, it's literally going to be a wasteland. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to add on to that and say that it also goes into meaning that she will no longer be regarded as untouchable or to be handled with care. Right. The other nations that they're fed with it. When you go down into that script in that chapter 2, it tells you that the other nations are fed, and so now they're going. America's going to receive its just worth as far as recompense.
Now, this guy says something about, if you remember, he said that, we went around pillaging the earth. Our forefathers went around pillaging the earth and, killing and robbing. But that's exactly what Esau was set up to do, right? When you go into Revelation 6, right, and 4, it tells you that it says, and there went out another horse. Horse represents power, okay? That was red. When you go into the Rothschilds, right, these banking families, right, they were called what?
Red Shield.
Right. But yeah, that exactly. Rothschild means red shield, but before they were called what? Bowers, right?
Bowers, yeah.
Right.
So Bauer.
Right. Which means peasant. Exactly. Scoundrel. Peasant. So they changed their name to, and the most have put the spirit on them to change their name to fulfill prophecy. Okay, it means red shield, and they're also red because they're wasted away in their skin. It says, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. What did this guy say in the beginning? Listen, he said we're here to fuck up everything for everybody else.
In the 80s and the 90s, we had a commitment to apathy while our leaders ran around pillaging the earth. And we made great movies and great art, and it was fine.
The Rogan experience.
What we have to realize is that we're Americans. We're deeply selfish monsters that have been bred to destroy all life on earth. We have to not lose sight of that message. We're here to fuck things up for everyone else.
Right? That's what he said. He said we're here to fuck things up for everybody else.
Yeah.
Revelation 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. And that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. So that's his military, his weaponry, right? And which is eventually going to lead to destruction.
His destruction, yeah.
His own destruction, that's right. It's going to be within 3. Right? I got one more precept here. Isaiah 19 and 2 is what I brought up earlier. I'll start out 1. It says a message. The title says a message to Egypt. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, being that's a chariot, man, and shall come to Egypt. And America is spiritually Egypt and Babylon. You can read about that in Revelation as well, in the book of Revelations. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Right? So a lot of these people right now, when these Americans, they see chariots, they're dismayed, right? But when they see the fathership coming through in his glory, they're gonna be beyond afraid, man. They said that they're gonna be moved at his presence, right? And it says verse 2, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptians, right? So you see a dividance within America, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom, right? There's about 51 states in the land of America, and part of them are okay with the Roe. That's why you got a Roe versus Wade. One half is okay with abortion, the other half isn't. This state is okay with that, and this state isn't. So there's no collectiveness in America. It's all division. Okay. Yeah, that was it on that. Brothers, got any other precepts they want to bring out?
Yeah, that precept.
I got one.
Okay,
Go ahead, brother.
Okay, Con.
I got one.
Okay, God. This is Isaiah 32:5. And it reads, "The vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful, for the vile person will speak villainy." And we already know who the vile person is, ESAU, Edom. And his heart will work iniquity to practice hypocrisy and to utter error against the Lord Yahweh, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fill, right? Because everybody that follows after the way of this devil, man, they're spiritually dead, man. You know?
That's right.
They don't have the spirit of the Lord on them, especially our people. You know? And it says, "The instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right." But the liberal, because that's what the devil wants to come at you as a liberal.
That's right.
He's for everybody, inclusion.
Right.
And you're free, you have freedoms, but through your freedom is destroying you, man. You know?
I think that's why they also said there's a melting pot.
Right?
Yeah.
Last script. It says, "But the liberal deviseth liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand." But that was it.
Con.
Justice for all. That's what he says.
Yeah, justice for all. Yeah. Even the wicked.
Right? Even the wicked. Con. I got a quick script.
Yep.
Jeremiah 51:9. Because what I'm hearing from this devil in his short, what it was to me was a rant. This is a man that realizes that Esau, Edom, and his kingdom and his rulership is done. It's over. You can hear it.
Absolutely.
Hear that spirit on him.
Hey, he did
Jeremiah,
say that. He said that we should enjoy the stuff of this empire that's going down.
That's
he did say it. Go ahead, brother.
Right. Jeremiah 51:9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Right? Babylon is goodness. Forsake her and let us go, everyone, into his own country. And that's what you're witnessing now. You're witnessing all these people that flourished and flocked to America because it was the land paved with gold and hand jobs. And everybody thought that they were going to get ahead and do this, that, and the third. And so now they're understanding that this land that was once about investment and manufacturing, it's over and it's run its course. And so now they're all headed back home. They're all trying to find a way out. That's why he's setting up these mandates and he's setting up this, that, and the third, and to try to prick you. Why? Because he doesn't want you to leave.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Con.
He wants you to leave.
Brother, yep. Con. Slack it, brother. Also, if I may add what you're saying, because you have a good point. It says we would have healed Babylon, but it's not healed. So that's why you got these Edomites talking about a great reset. They think they're going to be able to reestablish their rulership in this NWO New World Order. But when is this in Job, it says that when they should fill their belly, they should be in straits, right? Roughly paraphrasing. So just about when they think that they have everybody chipped or they have their enterprise being set up, guess who's going to crack them clouds, man? Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
Right there with you. For her judgment reaches onto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. And that judgment is the coming of the Lord in the chariots with the lasers. And the lasers and the chariots in the Lord. Oh my, right? The destruction of thermal, nuclear, and hypersonic missiles. He knows it's coming. You know. The table has been set.
That's right.
Yeah. That's it on
That's that. It on that.
I got a quick reset.
Come on.
Yeah, this is the book of Haggai 4, and it reads, "Is it time for you, O ye, to dwell in your style houses, and this house lie waste?" There's a question mark. It says in verse 5, "Now therefore, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai of hosts, consider your ways. You have sown much and bring a little. You eat, but you have not enough. The Isa is never, he never have enough. He's always want more. Right? Says,
and every American is it's in this state right now. It's not just Jake anymore. Right? It's not just Israel anymore. Everybody in America, really across the world, is feeling this too.
Yeah. The ribs are touching, man.
God.
Ribs are touching.
It reads, you drink, but you're not filled with drink. You close you, but there's no warm. And he that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes.
God. That's right. There's no back, everything is you really ESAU use money to buy your time. Right? You spend 14 hours a day, 10 hours a day, 8 hours a day working just to see a bunch of numbers in your account. Just for this devil to tell you that, well, if you don't do this and do that, that money is not going to sit in your account. That's what this devil wants to bring. Is complete control over everything you do. Right? There's a credit system where if you don't have good standing within the society, you can't get certain things. You won't be able to get certain things that you might need, even though you worked for the money to get those things. So guess what? Your wages that are earned have went into a bag full of holes, which means it's deceit. The money is deceit. It doesn't profit you anything, man. It's just a tool, an instrument used to control you.
And we know, so like we know he lies, and he loves to lie because he tells you if you want to work overtime, you can make extra money. Meanwhile, the more you make, the more he takes out of your paycheck.
Exactly.
And at the end of the hours you work, I work so many hours, and this is what I get.
And that's right, brother.
Oh, that's his blessing. Anyway, go ahead, brother.
The thing is the vacation pay. That's the hilarious one. By the time you look at vacation pay, you have to go to the bathroom with the vacation pay. It's crazy.
Wow.
You got to watch this dude, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, those are all his blessings, brother. There's nothing here for us. Is as Brother Ahmad just mentioned, his blessings his trick bag has got holes in it. His riches. He's corrupted by his riches, but yes, that's his blessing. I just thought how you brought that out, it made me laugh because this guy is exactly who he is. He's set up to be that poison. And he's set up to be that poison, but the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yoshai give Yahushai the anti-venom, which is this truth. Okay. Yes. And right now it's presented right now he's seeing lambs or sheep, whichever you want to call it, but within the sheep they have that anti-venom for the sting of this serpent. Real quick, I just wanted to read, brothers, I don't know if wanted to read Obadiah 4, right? How he cannot escape his judgment, and how he's going to be ransacked. So Obadiah 4 and Obadiah 6. Okay.
You want me to read that for you?
Yeah, go ahead if you got it real quick, because I'm just too many windows here.
Obadiah 1 and 4, it says, "Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I be down."
Beautiful. So simply put, right, he's he's planning an escape, right? Also within an escape, he can watch, right? But he's planning an escape. That's what that's really going into, which is vain. Okay, it's not going to happen because we read the scriptures before of his judgments, what's coming. Okay. Just go to
Hold on. One second, Elder.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Can we go on the word nest?
Sure. Yeah, nest, okay. You said that nest. So nest here. It says nest of a bird, cells like nest in Noah's Ark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to see what that nest.
Yeah,
Interesting. That's it's something that's coming in my head, but I'm not going to say it. I don't think it's important, but they've made a lot of movies about this, about them going nesting. But read the next verse, brother. I'm not going to say because I'm not sure. Or go to the next point. Yep.
Verse 5.
Yeah, go to verse 5, but the point is verse 6. Read.
Okay, it says, if thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not be stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would
he gave you vacation pay and took your vacation pay. Go on.
I promise you.
Yeah. Would
that's
they?
That's his gift. That's his gift. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Would they not leave some grapes? That also goes into the youth that we brought up. Let us use them as in our youth.
Wow.
Right? Verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up through the Holy Spirit? And that's how they're sought up. That's how they're searched out.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the point on that.
Yep.
Ahmad.
Go ahead, baby.
Ahmad?
Yeah, Khan.
That word nest, again, go in the dictionary.
Oh, okay. Pull up regular dictionary?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definition of the word nest.
Nest. Definition here. So it says here in the definition of nest, it says a structure or place made or chosen by a bird for laying eggs and sheltering their young. It says a place filled with a frequented by undesirable people or things. God. Hey, you know what's funny about this? Because Hillary Clinton, her famous quote all the time is that we're trying to break the ceiling. We're trying to shatter the ceiling, the glass ceiling. There's a glass ceiling that we're trying to shatter. And she keeps saying that over and over again because, of this scripture, man. They wanna be out there with the Most High has already set their bounds, right? With the Van Allen belt and the asteroid belt, you can call it too. But that shows you their pride, man. They want to be like the Most High. They want to be out there because they want to see. They really want to be able to escape, like you said, Elder. They're trying to plan an escape.
Now, I'm gonna say this real quick, brothers. I grew up in a time where they talk a lot about when in school, and Esau pushing his agenda real quick. When they would go up and nest, right? They one of the things that they would say is that they go up and test things to see how it works, and then they come back down, and then they come up with inventions. Right? I grew up hearing that. So based on what is coming out here, and we know in the spirit, and the scriptures already said there's no faithfulness in him. When this man goes up the nest, is he bringing anything good with him? And is he coming back with anything good other than to do what?
To lie.
That's right. Lie, cheat, steal, murder. Right? When they stepped on the shores, when Columbus came, they did you know that at our people they killed a lot of the people. Well, they kill us and eat us. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say, brother. I'm not gonna go into it because I might get strange here.
God. All right, this is my last precept, and then we'll close up on this. Okay. It says Ezekiel 25:12. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, because that Edom hath dwelt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and has greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it I'll make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. I will lay my vengeance upon Edom. This is why when we read some of these scriptures earlier, you heard within the tone of the wicked in Wisdom of Solomon, the second chapter, they were rushing everything's about doing it now, because they know that vengeance is coming upon them from the Heavenly Father.
And after that, and he was basically telling on himself. Right. So when you appear with the scriptures now you know why the Most High is saying this, because he was saying we did this and we did this and we did this, right? So it's no different than being in court and just telling on everybody. You know what I mean? You were there, so your word is bond. And this guy's saying, you know, what they did, and no, and Joe Rogan saying, no, it didn't. And no one there saying, no, it didn't do that. That didn't happen. They're laughing.
Yeah. It says, verse 14, I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and which is the elect of Israel. Okay. And they shall do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury. Right. The scriptures say, I will make you my axe and my battle axe. That's the elect. Okay. And they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord Yahweh power. Okay, so yeah, that's it on that. Okay. Lord willing, the whole full elect was edified by this lesson. Talking about Esau being the poison of the earth and how he's going to be destroyed, and the vengeance is going to come from upon high. All we have to do is just push this word, and the Most High is going to do everything. So with that, we're going to close, and we're going to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, all right. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and has taught this word in truth and sincerity. And peace and mercy to the hopeful elect that are also pushing this word. Sincere 1/3 that may listen. So we're going to say a ball. And low into the next live lesson, we say shalom.
Real quick there. The short time, the short time scripture, the prophetic scripture, where the Lord speeds up everything is Revelation 12:12. All right, because you did mention it. Just thought I'd get that out in there.
Yeah.
Right. That's it. That's the point. I won't read it. It's readable. Yep. That's it.
Shalom.
Shalom.